I grew up in a middle-class Jewish home in St. Louis when I met my husband. He was just about to graduate university and come to Israel. And it was like, well, you know, I'll go check it out. So that's how I arrived here on the last day of 1969. And I immediately felt comfortable here. Zvi and Sarah are two of my three children. They have an older brother, and then Sarah, and then Zvi. These are Tzvika's. They're amazingly gorgeous. They're wood-fired, and these are Sarah's paintings. But they're old, so she probably doesn't want me to say that, because they don't reflect what she's doing now. I heard about SHEIKH JARRAH from Tzvika and Sarah. And I myself, I didn't go near there. It sounded dangerous. It sounded like, I just didn't take that much of an interest in it. Tzvika in particular encouraged me to get more informed and maybe to start coming. But it was also the mother part of me that was concerned about her children, and I knew they were subject to arrest and some police violence. So I went also partially, I think, to be watching. Not that I could have done anything for them, but it was that sense of wanting to be where my kids are in danger. All right, here we go. I think in general people are intimidated or suspicious about going into East Jerusalem. There they are. So I like to park here. It's a great parking area. All right. So we have to go this way. I'm not a political person, and I'm not an activist type. That's not who I am. Shalom. But once you no longer have the luxury of ignorance, then it's like the feeling is you have to take a stand. I was choosing my sign. I took this one. SHEIKH JARRAH for me it's in a way a very simple issue because it's so based on human rights.
טוב, רק כמה מילות הסבר למי שלא מכיר ולמי שכן מכיר עוד פעם. זה של כמה משפחות שגרו כאן כשהם פונו לטובת המתנחלים. ברא, اطلعي كمان. اطلع برا انت كمان اطلع برا. يخرب بيتك حيوان. اطلع برا. כי מה שהמתנחלים עושים זה הם מתבססים על זה שבמדינת ישראל יש חקיקה שהיא לא שוויונית בעליל והיא מפלה בין יהודים לפלסטינאים. אז היהודים המתנחלים באים לכאן והם אומרים זאת הייתה אדמה יהודית לפני 48 והחוק מאפשר להם לתבוע את זה חזרה. אבל כל הפלסטינים להם הם לא יכולים אפילו לגשת, אין סעיף בחוק, אין חוק, אין שום אפשרות אפילו להגיש בקשה לתביעת האדמה הזאת.
It's just what are you trying to do here? What can you get? What you're going to maintain by force a Jewish presence in predominantly Arab neighborhoods? How can you live like that? The SHEIKH JARRAH situation reminds me of other situations over the years in different parts of the world where it's speaks so much to the heart of the society that you live in. Like those first people that sat in on the lunch counters in America because the laws in America were discriminatory. So there was no choice but to call attention to this out-and-out legal discrimination. We're talking about how our society is relating to other groups of people in the society based on law, laws which themselves need to be rewritten or struck down. So it's really not a hard issue to decide where you stand on if you stop to think about it. When I first started going to Sheikh JARRAH, it was very hard for me because I think I'm a person who was raised to be obedient to authority. And so, again, this is a confrontational situation where you're basically telling the authority that they're not okay, and you're willing to risk your, your personal freedom in order to make your point. And I found this very upsetting, and I would, go there and I would feel the tears welling up in my eyes.
The police were so bent on squashing this.
I was there once where Sarah was with the megaphone. And they went right for her. It was very frightening to see this in the, here it is, this country, where I've, come to live, and like suddenly the police, like I'm an enemy of the state. Like, how is that possible? I mean, I'm law-abiding, I pay my taxes, I live in Jerusalem, I put up with whatever I put up with, I contribute whatever I can. And suddenly it's like I'm an enemy of the state, and my kids too. I never thought my children would be arrested. Actually, where their activism comes from, I don't know. I think it just comes perhaps from a family that always, has tried to do the right thing. And in Israel, the right thing means going to Sheikh JARRAH.
I keep going because it's the very least I can do. And I think it's very, very little, but it is something.